Vous avez probablement vu ces images, celle-ci, ou encore celle-là. Le moins qu'on puisse dire, c'est que ces actions organisées par des militants pour le climat ne sont pas du goût de tout le monde.
The climate crusaders are at it again with another ridiculous, desperate cry for attention.
Ces militants, eux, expliquent qu'ils cherchent justement à provoquer un choc. C'est ce que dit cette jeune militante britannique de l'association Just Stop Oil lors de l'action sur le tableau de Van Gogh à Londres.
What is worth more, art or life? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people?
Un propos similaire à celui de cet autre militant de l'association à La Haye le 27 octobre.
Do you feel outraged? Good. Where is that feeling when you see the planet being destroyed?
Puisque ces actions radicales font débat, nous avons voulu essayer de savoir quel impact elles peuvent avoir sur la lutte contre le changement climatique et surtout sur sa perception.
So my name's Eryn Campbell. I'm a PhD candidate at George Mason University that's housed in Fairfax, Virginia. And I also am a research assistant at the Center for Climate Change Communication.
I'm Alex de Koning. I'm 24 years old and I'm doing my PhD in green hydrogen production at Newcastle University. I'm a spokesperson for Just Stop Oil.
Sur les réseaux sociaux, cette réaction revient beaucoup. Alex de Koning explique pourquoi son association a choisi de cibler d'étoiles célèbres.
When Jeff Bezos went to space for 6 minutes, that got more morning news coverage in a day than the climate crisis got in all of the year 2020. So we're targeting the artwork because that became viral. It got seen by 50, 60, 70 million people. And if only 10% of those conversations are actually about the climate crisis, there's still an extra 5, 6 million people talking about the fact that we need no new oil licenses because we have 8 years in reserve. That's more than enough time to make a fair transition to renewable energies, which are currently 9 times cheaper in the UK. We're facing a cost of living crisis here. People are having to choose between heating and eating.
Face aux réactions indignées observées ces derniers jours, certains s'interrogent sur ces actes de désobéissance civile. Risquent-ils de détourner une partie de l'opinion des enjeux climatiques ?
We work with the Yale program on climate change communication to conduct 2 biannual surveys of American perceptions of climate change and attitudes towards it. So we've separated out Americans based on their beliefs about global warming, and that's on a scale of those who are alarmed about this issue to those who are dismissive. They're actively working against climate action or climate progress. What we found is that the more engaged you are in the issue, the more supportive you are of nonviolent civil disobedience. We don't have a clear picture of whether these actions are going to be helpful or harmful to the broader climate movement. They might be able to help motivate those people in that alarmed category who say that they're willing to take this personal action to do more. On the flip side, there are another few ways that it might be harmful, right? So it's going to further help our opponents and give them kind of this fuel to reflect negatively on the climate movement. And that's certainly something that we don't want to do as climate advocates. It also might kind of repel those borderline people away. So instead of getting them to engage and act on that positive perception, maybe they viewed it negatively and it pushes them away. And then the last thing that I think might be the most harmful piece is that it could divide those who are already engaged in the climate movement. We have to be united. We're working against a very outspoken, united force on the other end of this issue, trying to advance their own agenda for decades. And so the more that we get divided, the more they're going to be able to continue to push that agenda.
De son côté, Alex de Koning dit avoir bien conscience de ces critiques.
Obviously, we're aware that not everybody is happy with these kind of protests, but we have been trying for 50 years to do everything we can to tackle climate change, and every single year it's gotten worse. We've done petitions, we've done marches, we've done writing to MPs. This has to be the next step. And because we've thrown soup at a painting, that's not going to stop somebody from recycling. We know that we're not popular with everybody, but a recent Guardian article showed that 66% of people think that direct action is the correct way to fight the climate crisis. That's already a great start. When Just Stop Oil started, our first 2 weeks of actions were blocking oil terminals directly. We caused as much material disruption as we possibly could. And yet the media didn't really report on it much. But when two people threw soup at a Van Gogh painting, that got people talking. So we have tried the other solutions, and we're still possibly going to go back and do that, because we need to target the oil companies directly, but we also need to engage people in the conversation about the climate crisis. So for all those people who say they don't understand the message, what I'm saying is, if you're really more outraged by the fact that we threw soup at a protected piece of artwork than the fact that 33 million people in Pakistan have been displaced by floods and that they're not protected by glass, then you need to reevaluate your priorities.